Hey guys, how are you doing? I just have to say now it's becoming a very exciting time because we have got less than a month until Christmas. So now Netflix really is just throwing out all of these Christmas movies. So I'm going to be trying to review as much of them as possible. But guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. It really does mean the world to me that you're willing to sacrifice a few minutes out of your day to watch my content. It really does mean the world to me. You guys are the best. And today we're going to be talking about Holiday Rush. So Holiday Rush, what is it about? It is about a DJ who unfortunately he loses his job. And now he's going to have to completely downgrade his entire living lifestyle. He's going to have to move out of his new fancy expensive mansion with his family, and they're going to have to move back into their old house, and they're going to try to make ends meet while he goes and tries to get a new job at a radio station that he has just bought. And his children do not like this at all, because they have now grown accustomed to this really expensive lifestyle. They enjoy having all the stuff, they enjoy having all the things, and they are not happy about having to move into a much smaller house, into a much less regal neighborhood. And I do have to give Romany Malco, and I really hope that's how you say his name. I'm going to pop up on screen, Romany Malco. That is how his name is spelled. I hope I'm saying it right. I do have to give him props because he is a very likable character in this movie. I got invested in this movie because of him. Within the first few scenes, he had me hooked, and I was like, I want to know what's going to happen with this character. And I just have to say, he's incredibly likable. His children, on the other hand, are not. Oh my word. Up until about the final fifth of this film, the kids are so incredibly unlikable. And I understand that is the point of the film. There's this very obvious theme that the film tackles, and that's that, you know, money and things can corrupt character. And you see it not only through the kids, but you see it through the evil businessmen that steal the radio station from Rush, because they are just incredibly unlikable as well. There's this one line where she goes, "It's all about the business and I gotta win." And she is just such a jerk, and she's busy cheating pretty much the system left, right and center to make sure she gets all of the money, that she gets all of the profit, and it's all about her. And you also see it through the children. These children are so incredibly spoiled and selfish that honestly I was getting angry because I was just feeling so sorry for Rush, how he's having to deal with this entire, basically everything he's built up for the last 5 years with him being a DJ has now been stolen from him. And his kids are all just worried about the fact that they're not going to be able to post really cool new presents on Instagram. That's their biggest worry. And so I got really frustrated with the kids for the first 4/5 of this film because they just are not likable in any way, shape or form. With that being said though, by the end of the film, they are humanized and all of them have time to have actual character arcs, and you understand why the characters were acting out in specific ways. And they do adapt to their new situations, and they do become likable by the end. By the end of the film, they are a nice, sweet, genuine family that you can enjoy. Now, the kid that's hit hardest out of all of the kids in Rush's family is Jamal, and he deals with a lot in this film, and a lot of it is warranted, but then some of it as well is just, he just got annoying as well. He acted out a lot, he rebelled a lot. Being the oldest son, he was about to get into Harvard, and now he feels like his entire future is in jeopardy. So he's just this normal teenager that feels like the world is against him. And to a degree, I can understand where he's coming from, but from another degree, I'm just like, bro, you are acting out unnecessarily. So I think that's just a cool illustration. I think the filmmakers actually showed a lot what it's like to just be an angry teen, because you're angry at the situation, but you don't know how to process it, and so you lash out. And I've been in that situation before where I was genuinely not happy with something, and I knew it wasn't anyone's fault, but I was just lashing out because I'm angry and somebody has to deal with my anger. So they showed that in a realistic way, even though it bummed me out having to watch that. Now, this is a Christmas movie, so you are going to be listening to a ton of Christmas carols. But what's actually nice about this film is, and especially with the fact that Rush is a DJ, they make it a point to play upbeat and exciting Christmas carols. So there is something to be looking forward to. You're going to be hearing Christmas carols that you're familiar with, but a new and exciting way, which I was like, oh, that's awesome. There was also a love story in this film that I was not expecting. It did kind of come out of nowhere a little bit, but I thoroughly enjoyed it by the end. I felt like the two leads really got along well. They were just awesome. Props to both the actors and the scriptwriters and the directors. Everything about these two characters just worked, in my opinion. I think this film is good. I think it's serviceable. It does majority of the things right. There were just two things that happened completely out of nowhere that were just completely out of sync with the rest of the film. Now this one happens twice in the film, and so he rushes saying goodbye to his family, saying goodnight to them. He's busy tucking them up in bed, and then this voiceover starts where he's kind of just rhyming, you know, we're all in this house, and this is happening, and this is happening, and now this is going to happen. And it's basically, he basically takes traditional Christmas carols but rewords them. And I guess that works because he's a DJ, but it doesn't work in the sense of the movie, because at no point in the movie is there narrative except for in these two scenes. So it's just incredibly weird. Another scene for me that came completely out of nowhere. Now this is slight spoilers, so you might want to skip ahead. I'm going to put a timestamp down below so you can just jump ahead. There's this one scene where Rush is sitting in his car, and he starts talking to himself, and then he looks over and he starts talking to his wife. And she kind of just, his dead wife, by the way, and she kind of just materializes. So it's all in his head, but like she appears as this very angelic creature, and she's shining and she's sparkly. But it's so opposite everything else that's been in the film. It's just so out of nowhere, firstly, but it's so against the tone of the film, the themes of the film. It just felt a lot more like Ghosts of Christmas Future and Ghosts of Christmas Past and all of that sort of stuff than what the film was actually trying to do. And it was a very sweet scene because it's him talking to his wife that unfortunately passed away, and he's having this really emotional conversation with her, but the tone just felt so incredibly off for me. So even though they were tackling these really hectic themes of, you know, moving on from a loved one that's unfortunately passed away and having to move forward with your life, that's like something incredibly hectic. And I like the fact that the film tried to tackle this theme, but I just don't like the way they necessarily went about doing it. But I will give them props to trying it. I will. Honestly, there's a lot to like about this film. It's fun. There are moments where there's like serious drama and you can get really invested in these characters and their story, which is really exciting. It's a feel-good movie, very happy ending. So it's an optimistic ending as well, because it doesn't exactly give you all the answers, but it gives you enough that you can guess what's going to happen at the end. So guys, I would definitely recommend this movie. It might not be for everyone, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a good Christmas film. So if you're in the mood for a Christmas movie, I would recommend it. Go ahead, go watch this film. Let me know what you guys think of this film. If you have watched it, down in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. You guys are awesome. I love you. I hope to see you guys again soon.